Hey friends, Amber here with A Meeple Family. Welcome back to part 3 of my cozy solo gaming series. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe. I'm always sharing solo games, some family games, and hopefully peaceful, correct playthroughs as well. I guess I'm not really sure about that. I try to. I aim to give correct playthroughs. So you may be asking yourself, why should I subscribe to your channel, Amber? I'm just randomly finding this and I don't know if I want to make that commitment. Well, if you can just give me like 30 days, subscribe, let's see how it goes. If things don't go well, we can unsubscribe from each other. It's totally fine, no hurt feelings. Give it a try. I swear, it'll be great. Just give me a chance. Give me a chance. Just kidding. Do what you want, but please subscribe. So if you've been following along from the beginning, this series has been all about celebrating the versatility of solo gaming. How I can enjoy a great game, whether I'm curled up on my sofa playing at a side table or an end table or a coffee table, or now maybe being immersed at the dining room table. So I am a full-time mom. I homeschool our kids, which I love. It is so fun. I also do this as like a hobby, which that is why my videos are, you know, so good. So anyway, basically in a nutshell, I'm really busy and I play games whenever and however I can. And sometimes that means they have to fit into my life and kind of where I'm at in my home. And that's kind of what birthed this series. I didn't know if there were more out there like me that just have to find ways to play games. It's just not always at a gaming table or a large space. Sometimes my favorite games are actually small games I can play at a side table or coffee table. But today's list is really fun because these are games that I can put out at our dining room table. They do require a little bit more space, but I still tried to keep them in that solo, relaxed, cozy vibe. It's just, I can't fit them on my coffee table. I mean, I maybe could, but it would be tight. And then, you know, when it gets too tight, it's just kind of not fun. You gotta have space to like spread out and know where all your things are and not have them all be on top of each other. If you know, you know. All right, my first one is actually 2 games, of course, because I'm immediately breaking the rules, and that is Aqua and Huton. So I didn't bring these games down here with me because in my last video, I told you guys my board games are all upstairs, and I did carry down a lot of the small box games, but when it comes to these bigger ones, I was like, I'm not doing it. So we're doing images and, you know, it's all right, we'll get through it. So I absolutely love these games, though they do take a little bit more to set up because they're more of a tile placement game. Aqua's one I've had in my collection longer. Huton is a newer title, both put out by the Ops. Great games. I absolutely love them. They are very relaxing, very chill, and a great solo achievement in both rule books. So I really like to get these out and I will try to get through all the achievements that I can. I'm about halfway through both of them right now, and I just enjoy working through those. So these are ones that I specifically like to get out on my dining room table because they've got more pieces. And it's just easier to have more space with these specific games. But these are 2 that I love to get out and play solo. So if you haven't checked them out, be sure to do. They're beautiful. Again, tile placements, some rules that make them a little bit different from one another, but I love them. And I do think that they're different enough that you can definitely own both of them in your collection. All right, next up is the game Canopy. When I was making this list, I was kind of looking through my collection, and this is one I haven't played in a while. And I think part of the reason is because you do need a bigger space to play this one, but it's such a small box, and you think, oh, like that's a perfect solo coffee table game, and it's like, no. Like you are building a rainforest. You're building trees with canopies and animals, and it's such a beautiful game. And it made me, in making this list, I was like, I've got to get that back out to the table. This has a really great solo mode. And like I said, in this one, you have this beautiful rainforest that you're gonna be building. This is absolutely beautiful. And actually, I believe this is made by the same designer who made another favorite game of mine called Leaf, which if this list was longer, Leaf would be on here as well. I absolutely love Leaf, but I wanted to put in some different games, so I chose Canopy for this specific list. But this is a beautiful game, great solo mode, and a great dining table experience. All right, next up on my list is Bonsai. I'm not super good at this game, and I do think you can play this on Board Game Arena, but I'm such a tactile person. I love having the game in front of me. That just feels so much Like, I just enjoy it more than Board Game Arena. But in this game, it's, again, you're kind of placing these tiles. I find that the tile ones, or these big tableau building ones, even though they're still like lightweight games in my opinion, they're just better, and I enjoy the experience more if I have a bigger surface. This is definitely one because you're building out this bonsai tree and it gets kind of like wonky, right? So like growing out and all these different limbs and flowers and fruits, and this one is really cleverly designed. I think they just came out with an expansion for this one. I haven't played it, but I do love the solo mode of this one. It's very simple to play. You're basically just clearing the market of cards and, you know, building your tableau of tiles or bonsai tree. I love the aesthetic of this one. I think it's really beautiful. I love getting this one to the table, but it is one that I think is more enjoyable on a dining room table than a coffee table. All right, next up on my list is one I have become semi-obsessed with. And I know like everybody's obsessed with this game, but that is Marvel Champions. This is another one that, because of the enormous amount of cards that come with this game, although you don't need to play with all of them, I just find that for like the whole experience, like I'm sorting through cards, I'm building a deck, I'm getting ready to play, it's just easier to be at a dining room table. And this is one I love playing solo. I love battling, I love everything about this game. So this is not like a true deck builder. I mean, it's weird to me because you're building the deck before you play. You're not like really mitigating the deck as you play, which to me, that's like what a deck builder is. But I know that this often is put into the deck builder genre, but neither here nor there. Love Marvel Champions. I love this one at the dining room table just because you are having a lot of bits and bobs and, you know, cards and stuns, and you know, you're putting out thwart, and there's just kind of a lot of like little itty bitty things you're doing. And I just find it's nicer to have a bigger surface or play space to do that on. And so this is one I love playing at my dining room table. All right, number 5, one of my faves from the very beginning, Targi. Targi is typically a 2-player game, but I do play the solo variant, which I believe was designed by the original developer of the game, or designer of the game. And this is another one, there's not a lot to this, but it does have a pretty big tableau presence. So you have kind of the market area where you have your different worker placement spots, and you're filling in all of that inside area with cards, whether it is kind of like objective-based cards or resource cards, and then you're also building your own tableau. So this one, even though could I probably squeeze it onto a coffee table? Maybe. More enjoyable on the dining room table. I love this one. This is another one I think you can play on Board Game Arena. I love the physical game, and this is also one that someday I will get the upgraded bits for, because this is just one of my favorite games. I absolutely love it. The simplicity of it, it's just such a great game. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's so good. All right, number 6 on my list is Legacy of You. Now, some may not consider this a cozy game, but I do. I love this game so much. It is slightly narrative, but if you guys have watched my channel for any time, you know I'm not a huge narrative-driven person. That's not my favorite like mechanic in a game. This, I don't get that vibe from at all. I think the gameplay here is rich. I love the artwork. I love everything. It just escapes me to this whole other world with totally different problems than the one I'm facing. Severe problems, actually. You're trying to stop barbarians from like breaking in and killing people, and also a flood's coming. So, you know, life in Legacy of You is quite difficult, which sometimes can be a nice escape from my reality. So sometimes that's, you know, a really fun game to play. But I love this game. I love everything about it. It is a great dining room table game. To me, it's this wonderful solo experience, and I love it every time I get to play through the campaign. It's just a win for me. And I don't really see this ever leaving my collection. A great dining table game. All right, number 7 is the game Role Player. Now, this could go either way. Could you play this on your coffee table? Maybe, but this one to me, with just like the dice and just all the different cards and things that come out, it just works better for me at the dining room table. This is similar to the game Sagrada, although the theme is much different. You are really developing a RPG character using dice. And so you get kind of different objectives you need to attain, and it's just so much fun. This is one I absolutely love. My brother introduced this to me years ago, and I got a used copy for myself. and I just really enjoy this one. That is Role Player. All right, number 8 on my list, a good recommendation for kind of a cozy solo board game is Wild Gardens. This does have a solo mode that's kind of a campaign. It gives you different objectives to do, different tasks to do. I have played through that. I liked that, but I just love to play this for a high score. I think it is really fun. So in this one, you're traveling around a little path thing, and you can get little ingredients along the way, and you build your little recipes, and then you serve guests. So it's got that contract fulfillment, it's got some resource management. So in addition to the contract fulfillment, which I absolutely love, there's also some ways that you can enhance your turns to make them more powerful. So even though you get limited turns, you can kind of add on to those by doing different things to just like make each turn more impactful. I really love this one, but it is 100%, even though it's cozy and I don't feel like the overhead is too much, it just needs a really big space to play, and it's quite cumbersome to get out. But when I get it out, I love it. I love being in the world. I think it's really, really fun. But you gotta have it at your dining room table. There is no way I could do this at my coffee table. I mean, it is got a lot going on, and there's just like a lot of pieces. There's bags you're pulling stuff out of. There's a lot of wiping the board and resetting that up, and having more space for this one works best. And this is a great solo dining room table cozy game. All right, number 9 is Race to the Raft. I love this game. It is so fun. This has kind of a book that you work through that's going to give you different objectives. You've got to get cats who are escaping a fiery, flaming, on fire island. Which I don't know how they got there, but they're there, and you gotta get them off, and you gotta get them to the raft. And as you move through this campaign, it gets more and more challenging, because not only do you have to get the cats to the raft, but now there'll be things like, oh, the purple cat has to get on third. So you're trying to figure out how to make all these different like special requests or objectives completed in a certain amount of time, while there's also fire growing, and enclosing in on your cats. It is so much fun to play. I love this one. I don't know why like more people aren't talking about this game. I think it is so, so fun. It has kind of a polyomino feel, but more like you're taking square cards and you're kind of overlapping them to build paths all the way to the raft. Such a fun game. But again, because of the expansiveness of this game, and just like the pieces and like the different decks you have, it just does better at a dining room table. But it is a cozy, wonderful game to play, and I love playing this one at my dining room table. All right, and then number 10 is Keystone North America. Oh, love this game. So, so beautiful. Keystone is this spatial tableau builder where you're arranging animals by like ecosystem. There's also numbers you're trying to consider as well. This has a solo campaign with missions that you walk through with different objectives and different ways to set up the game. This game is beautiful. It's stunning on the table. It's one that I love to sit and play at my dining room table, because I just feel like I need more space for this one, just because of the cards and the different components that you have to deal with. Again, could you play it at your coffee table? Maybe. It's just more enjoyable for me at a dining room table, and it's a great solo experience. Now, I do have one honorable mention for you, and that is Creature Caravan. This one is a newer addition to my collection, but it immediately earned a spot in that cozy game rotation. In this game, you are kind of bringing in creatures to join your caravan, and as you bring them in, they're like, oh, here's my special skill I can give to you. And so it's helping you acquire kind of more ways to mitigate your dice. So this is really a dice game where you are dictating how to use your dice, and you want to fill your tableau with a lot of variety, so you have a lot of options in how to spend and use your dice in varying amounts. So when you start the game, you have a very limited pool of options, but as you grow and you bring people into your caravan, you all of a sudden have all of these options, and they all kind of synergize together, while some of them are giving you special scoring objectives. So you're trying to bring in maybe a certain type or tag on the card to score more points. It is such a fun game. The artwork, everything about this is great, and the solo experience is great as well. Definitely a dining table game though, because this gets huge. Like, the tableau gets big. You have a lot of cards at the end of the game, and this one just works way better at a dining room table. Well, that wraps up my cozy dining room table solo game list. 10 games, and 11, I guess, if you count that honorable mention, that work really, really well at a dining room table. These are games I turn to when I have the luxury to sit at my dining room table and play a cozy game. These are the ones I look to. I would love to know which ones you guys play when you're at your dining room table. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I would love to have you hang out here with me. I try to post videos every week, so stay tuned. I don't know what's coming up next. I have to think of another series. This was so much fun. And if you missed part 1 and 2, you can definitely go check those out as well. I hope you enjoyed these list of games. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.